Imagine a young woman traveling alone across California, full of excitement, hope, and the anticipation of adventure. She had been documenting her journey, taking pictures of the places she visited, and sharing her experiences with friends and family back home. Her name was Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian college student who arrived in Los Angeles in January 2013. She checked into the infamous Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, a building already notorious for its dark history and unsettling reputation. Built in the 1920s, the Cecil had been associated with numerous deaths and mysterious events over the decades. It had once housed notorious serial killers and was located near Skid Row, a gritty neighborhood known for crime, poverty, and desperation, giving the hotel a reputation that many called cursed. Despite this, Elisa chose to stay there, unaware of the strange chain of events that awaited her. From the moment she arrived, staff noted some unusual behavior. She had been assigned a shared room initially, but after reports of disturbances, she was moved to a private room. Guests mentioned odd interactions, and staff occasionally observed her acting in ways that seemed erratic. Despite these signs, nothing suggested the tragedy that would soon unfold. Her friends back home received periodic messages, unaware that something was wrong, while her own excitement about exploring Los Angeles continued to show in the notes she left behind in her travel journal. On January 31st, 2013, surveillance cameras in the hotel captured her last known sighting. The footage, later released by the Los Angeles Police Department, showed Elisa entering one of the hotel elevators alone, wearing a red hoodie. Almost immediately, her behavior drew attention. She pressed multiple buttons repeatedly, stepped in and out of the elevator, and appeared to look nervously down the hallway. At times, she seemed to hide behind corners or speak to someone invisible. Her hand gestures were strange, almost like a silent conversation with an unseen presence. The elevator doors opened and closed several times, and eventually, she disappeared from the frame, leaving viewers worldwide baffled. The footage was surreal, eerie, and haunting, sparking immediate speculation online. Was this the result of mental confusion, foul play, or something far more sinister? Thousands of people shared, commented, and debated over the footage as it quickly became a viral sensation. Despite exhaustive searches, hotel staff and police could not locate her. Flyers were distributed throughout Los Angeles, social media campaigns were launched, and tips flooded in from concerned citizens, but none of these efforts yielded clues. It was nearly 3 weeks later that the next shocking discovery occurred. Hotel guests began reporting strange issues with the water supply. Faucets had unusually low pressure, and the water sometimes tasted odd. Maintenance staff were sent to investigate, and they discovered the unimaginable. Elisa Lam's body was floating in one of the hotel's rooftop water tanks. She was found naked, and her clothes were at the bottom of the tank. The revelation sent shockwaves across the globe. How could a young woman, alone, end up in such a place? How did she access a secure area that seemed inaccessible to the public? And why was she not seen climbing up there? The coroner's report eventually concluded that her death was an accidental drowning. Her history of bipolar disorder was cited as a contributing factor, and it was suggested that she may not have been taking her medication consistently. These details raised more questions than answers. Investigators puzzled over how she had climbed onto the roof unnoticed, how she entered the tank, and why the tank hatch had been unsecured. The combination of mental health factors and the bizarre circumstances surrounding her disappearance fueled ongoing speculation, conspiracy theories, and paranormal interpretations. The eerie elevator footage in particular continued to haunt viewers, providing an unsettling glimpse into what many described as one of the most mysterious and tragic cases of the 21st century. News outlets, documentaries, and online forums extensively covered the Elisa Lam story. Fans of true crime and mystery dissected every detail of the elevator video, the hotel's dark history, and her personal background. Discussions ranged from psychological explanations to theories involving supernatural interference. The Cecil Hotel itself, already infamous for prior incidents, was forever linked with her name. Online communities debated whether her death could have been prevented or if the hotel's environment contributed to her state of mind. Each new video clip, analysis, or investigation article reignited public fascination, cementing the case in the annals of true crime lore. Elisa Lam's story is more than just a missing person case. It is a chilling reminder of how human vulnerability, mental health struggles, and the environment around us can intersect in tragic ways. Her disappearance and the mystery of her final days captured the attention of millions worldwide, sparking conversations about safety, awareness, and the unknowable events that sometimes occur. The elevator video in particular stands as an iconic, haunting image, replayed countless times across platforms and dissected in documentaries, podcasts, and online forums dedicated to mysterious events. Even years later, questions remain unanswered. How did she get onto the rooftop alone? Could anyone else have been involved? Was there a way to prevent her tragic death? While the official conclusion states accidental drowning, the image of Elisa Lam acting strangely in that elevator continues to fascinate and terrify people. The story has become a symbol of modern urban horror, blending psychological intrigue, eerie coincidences, and the tragic reality of a young life cut short. Her story reminds viewers that real-life horror often surpasses fictional tales. It's a stark, chilling example of how ordinary people can become part of mysterious events that defy explanation. The mystery of Elisa Lam endures, keeping her story alive in the minds of those who watch, analyze, and discuss it. It is a narrative that combines suspense, tragedy, and the haunting unknown, ensuring that it remains one of the most memorable and talked about true stories of our time. Elisa Lam's disappearance and death continue to provoke curiosity and fascination. She is remembered not only for the tragedy of her passing, but also for the eerie circumstances that brought global attention to the case. The mystery endures, her story repeatedly studied, and the chilling elevator footage remains one of the most iconic elements of modern true crime storytelling. This is not fiction. This is the true story of a young woman, her mysterious disappearance, and a chilling set of events that still captivates and unsettles millions around the world. The mysterious case of Elisa Lam. In the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, where nights were usually peaceful and nothing ever seemed out of place, a single house would become the center of one of the most terrifying unsolved crimes in American history. More than a century later, people still whisper about what happened inside that home, and many believe the horror never truly left. This is the true story of the Villisca Axe Murders, a crime so brutal, so disturbing, that it continues to haunt America to this day. On the night of June 9th, 1912, the Moore family went to bed as usual. Josiah Moore, his wife Sarah, and their 4 children, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul, had spent the evening attending a church event in town. With them were 2 young sisters, Lena and Ina Stillinger, who had been invited to stay the night after the event. Nothing about the evening suggested that it would end in unimaginable violence. The small white house sat quietly at the edge of town, its windows dark, its doors locked, and its occupants asleep. Sometime after midnight, an unknown intruder entered the home. What followed was an act of violence that shocked the nation. One by one, all 8 people inside the house were brutally murdered with an axe. The killer struck them while they slept, delivering repeated blows with such force that some victims were nearly unrecognizable. What made the crime even more disturbing was the methodical nature of the attack. Each victim appeared to have been struck in the same manner, suggesting planning rather than rage. When neighbors grew concerned the next morning after noticing unusual silence from the Moore household, they went to investigate. Upon entering the house, they were met with a scene of absolute horror. Blood stained the beds, walls, and floors. Mirrors and windows inside the home had been covered with cloth, as if the killer did not want to see their own reflection or be seen while committing the crime. Even more chilling, the axe used in the murders was found inside the house, cleaned, and placed carefully near the victims. As news spread, Villisca was thrown into panic. The crime quickly gained national attention, with newspapers across the United States covering every detail. Investigators were baffled. There were no signs of forced entry, no clear motive, and no obvious suspect. The brutality of the murders contrasted sharply with the quiet, religious nature of the town, leaving residents terrified that the killer might still be among them. Over the years, several suspects were investigated. A traveling minister, a former employee, and even a serial killer were all considered. One suspect, Reverend George Kelly, confessed at one point, only to later recant his statement. Despite interrogations, trials, and countless theories, no one was ever convicted. The case went cold, becoming one of America's most infamous unsolved murders. What truly cemented the Villisca Axe murders in American folklore, however, were the strange occurrences reported in the house after the crime. Over time, the home gained a reputation for being haunted. Visitors and investigators claimed to hear children's laughter, footsteps, doors slamming, and whispers in the night. Some reported feeling sudden cold spots, while others claimed to see shadowy figures moving through the rooms. Paranormal investigators from around the country visited the house, many leaving convinced that something dark remained behind. Today, the Villisca Axe Murder House still stands and is open to the public. People travel from across the United States to tour the home, or even spend the night inside. Some go out of curiosity, others seeking paranormal experiences, and a few hoping to feel a connection to the tragic events of that night in 1912. Many who stay overnight claim they cannot sleep, reporting strange noises, unexplained movements, and an overwhelming sense of fear. Despite the passage of time, the mystery remains unsolved. Who entered the Moore house that night? Why were 8 innocent people killed so brutally? Was the murderer a stranger passing through town, or someone the family trusted? And why did the killer take such deliberate actions, covering mirrors and windows before leaving the scene? These questions have never been answered. The Villisca Axe murders represent one of the darkest chapters in American crime history. It is a story of innocence shattered, a community forever changed, and a mystery that refuses to fade. More than 100 years later, the house still stands as a silent witness to unspeakable violence, and the spirits of that tragic night, according to many, have never truly left. This is not a legend. This is not a campfire tale. This is a real, documented event that happened in the United States. A true crime mystery that continues to terrify and fascinate generations. The horror of Villisca lives on, etched into the walls of a quiet house that once held a family and now holds one of America's most chilling secrets. In 1974, in a quiet suburban neighborhood of Westfield, New Jersey, something happened inside an ordinary family home that would later be described as one of the most disturbing real-life cases of alleged demonic possession in American history. What began as strange noises and unexplained behavior slowly turned into a nightmare that terrified an entire family and left investigators deeply unsettled. This is the true story behind the house that inspired one of the most famous horror films ever made, the chilling case of the Amityville Horror. The house stood at 112 Ocean Avenue, a large Dutch colonial home that looked peaceful from the outside. In November 1974, a man named Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered 6 members of his own family inside that house while they slept. He used a high-powered rifle, killing his parents and 4 siblings, one by one. What shocked investigators was that none of the victims appeared to have woken up or attempted to escape. DeFeo later claimed that voices in the house had driven him to commit the murders. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. But the house itself would soon become infamous for reasons even more disturbing. Just over a year later, in December 1975, George and Kathy Lutz moved into the house with their 3 children. They bought the home at a price far below market value, fully aware of the murders that had taken place there. At first, everything seemed normal, but within days, strange occurrences began. The family reported hearing unexplained footsteps, doors slamming shut on their own, and cold spots forming inside the house even when the heat was on. As time passed, the events became more intense and terrifying. George Lutz claimed he would wake up every night at exactly 3:15 a.m., the approximate time of the DeFeo murders. Kathy reported seeing a mysterious black sludge oozing from the walls and stairs. The children described seeing an imaginary friend named Jody, a pig-like creature with glowing red eyes. Objects moved on their own. Foul odors filled the house without explanation, and the family said they felt an overwhelming sense of dread that never went away.
Terrified, the Lutz family invited a priest to bless the house. During the blessing, the priest claimed he heard a deep voice telling him to get out. After leaving, he later reported developing blisters on his hands and experiencing intense nightmares. Paranormal investigators were brought in, including members of the Warrens, who claimed the house was influenced by dark, spiritual forces. Photographs taken during investigations allegedly showed unexplained figures, including what appeared to be a child's face peering from a doorway. After only 28 days, the Lutz family fled the house, leaving behind most of their belongings. They claimed the house was uninhabitable due to the terrifying phenomena they experienced. Their story quickly gained national attention and became the subject of books, interviews, and eventually, major Hollywood films. Skeptics later questioned the accuracy of the Lutz family's claims, suggesting exaggeration or fabrication, but others remain convinced that something truly evil occurred inside the house. To this day, the Amityville Horror remains one of the most debated and chilling true stories in American history. Was it a hoax created for fame and money? Or was the house truly influenced by something dark
that fed on fear and tragedy. The truth remains unclear, but the story continues to terrify generations, blurring the line between reality and horror. And now, after hearing all three of these terrifying true stories, the mysterious death of Elisa Lam, the brutal and unsolved Villisca Axe Murders, and the chilling events of the Amityville house, the question remains: which story disturbed you the most? Let us know in the comments which case haunted you, which one you believe still hides the darkest secrets, and whether you think these events can truly be explained. And if you want to hear more real, terrifying stories that actually happened, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. New, horrifying, true stories are coming, and the next one may be even darker than the last.